So guys, this is our next session in which we are discussing about the OSI layers. So the full form of OSI is Open System Interconnection Model. These OSI layers have been accepted by a company called ISO. So you might be aware of this company, ISO, which means International Standards Organization. So this company called International Standards Organization have made these 7 layers as a compulsory model to be followed when there are two devices which is communicating over a network. I'd like to give you an example here. For instance, you use WhatsApp for messaging, instant messaging, correct? So what do you use for typing and sending? It is an WhatsApp Messenger, which is your application. So if you are a sender, your process starts from the application layer. You start typing and then you send it through the application layer, and there are certain protocols which are operated on the application layer, which will help you to send the message, instant message, from the application layer, and it then passes on to the next layer, which is your presentation layer. See, this presentation layer is basically responsible for data representation. Okay, it also handles encryption and decryption of data. So this is very important when it comes to presentation layer. It handles encryption and decryption. Okay, so we will discuss what is encryption and decryption in the later classes. For now, we will fix this for encryption and decryption. I'd like to actually summarize what is encryption and decryption. Encryption is nothing but you're making the data which you're sending into some ununderstandable format, so that any hacker is viewing your data in between should not understand your data, and only the person on the other side, that is the receiver, should only get to know what your data is. So you're converting your data, or you're translating your data into some language that your hacker shouldn't understand. You're encrypting it, and again back at the receiver device, you're going to open up that data, or you're going to decrypt that data, retranslate that data again into the original message. So this is what presentation layer actually does. After presentation layer, it passes on to the next layer, which is your session layer. So session layer actually provides communicating using dialogue control. There is one specific thing called dialogue control, which we will discuss when we actually discuss about your session layer. So it provides data distinction between separate applications. Okay, so if you're sending your message over your WhatsApp Messenger, it should go to the receivers and only at the WhatsApp Messenger. It can't be received at your Facebook Messenger. So that is what session layer does. I hope you've got an idea of what actually it does, a lot about it. Okay, so next, when we are going to discuss about transport layer, so the name itself says what does it do. So transport layer, it basically does is it actually provides reliable communication. Okay, so it is like you make some sort of arrangement. See, your data is being carried through a truck, and you ensure through which way your truck is going, and how will it go, or any kind of, will it go through the highway, or will it go through some cities, passing through some cities. So this is how your transport layer also does something like that. It finds out the best route to which the receiver and sender is being connected to. Next, you have your network layer. So in this network layer, what we will do is we actually see this transport layer follows the path, but network layer creates the path. Okay, so this is sender A and this is sender B. It has direct communication path, it has an indirect communication path. So this network layer does something called as a routing. Okay, does something called as a routing, which will help in finding out which is the reliable route or path for your data to be communicated. After network layer is the data link layer. So in data link layer, what happens is the whole message is made into something called as frames. Okay, a window frame, you tell something as a frame, photo frame. So the whole message is cut down and made into frames, so that each frame is being sent sequentially. Even if there is some data loss at one frame, you should get to know that which frame has been lost, so that that data will be resent again, which is the significance of creating frames. And finally, when it comes to your physical layer, it specifies, that is, here it is frames, but here it becomes bits. So as we know, bits represent zeros and ones. Okay, so the data when it comes to a physical layer, that is, physical layer can be something like optical fiber cable, or a coaxial cable. So it can be anything. Okay, it can be anything. So at the last, we'll be doing this. We'll be sending data with the help of a coaxial cable or a wire. So there it has to get connected to zeros and ones. Therefore, these are the 7 layers. So if you can see here, we started from your application layer, that is your sender. This is a sender's route. Sender starts from the application layer to the physical layer, but when it's receiving side, it comes first, it is received onto the physical layer, then it is received onto the data link layer, then network layer, then transport layer, and it goes on ending up to your application layer. So this is what is all about these OSI layers, and this was just an introduction. In the next future classes, we'll be discussing more about each layer and all the functionalities of each and every layer, and the functionalities and the protocol associated with the layers. So today it's this which we have discussed about the OSI layers, and hope you have understood, guys. So we'll meet in the next session. Bye for now.